Good morning and welcome to the ADP Securities Markets Update. Beginning with the Asian session, as always today, there were only two minor economic releases across the session from Australia and New Zealand, which had a slight impact on both the Aussie and the Kiwi. Beginning with Australia, the AIG Services Index increased toward 47.5 in December, up from 43.8. However, it remains below the 50 key level since February of last year. In New Zealand, the ANZ Commodities Price Index also fell sharply by 4.4% in December, comparing to another decline of 1.6%. However, this is the biggest monthly decline since April of 2012. As for the European session, or as for the European session ahead, today there are a collection of economic releases from Germany, Italy, and the Euro Zone, which is likely to have a notable or a major impact on the markets across the session. Beginning with the German figures, the retail sales is expected to rise by 0.2% in November, comparing to another increase of 1.9% in October, which would be the second monthly increase in a row. And moreover, the German unemployment change is expected to decline by 6,000 in December, comparing to another decline of 14,000 in November, which would be the second or the third monthly decline in a row, not seen since mid of 2014. In Italy, the unemployment rate is expected to rise further to another record high at 13.3% in November, comparing to 13 or up from 13.2% in October, while the Eurozone unemployment rate is expected to remain stable at 11.5%, which would be the sixth monthly stabilization in a row at the current levels. These are the key factor, or there's also a key factor for a key economic release in this session today, which will be the Eurozone inflation figures. The CPI flash estimates is expected to remain or to come in unchanged in December, comparing to another rise of 0.3% in November, while the core CPI may slow down towards 0.6%, down from 0.7%, which would be the lowest reading on a record. However, the figures might come in weaker than expected, and the CPI may also turn negative, which will increase the speculation for a full blowout QE by the ECB this month. As for going forward to the US session today, another collection of economic releases economic figures will be released from the US and Canada, which is likely to have another major impact across the session. Beginning with the US, the ADP Non-Farm Employment change is expected to add 227,000 in December, comparing to 208,000 in November, which would be also the biggest or the highest reading since October. However, there is a possibility of a disappointment today amid the recent deterioration in the past few weeks. The trade balance deficit also is expected to decline slightly toward $42.3 billion in November, comparing or down from $43.4 billion in October. In Canada, the trade balance may post a deficit, or the first deficit since September, by minus $0.2 billion in November, comparing to a surplus of 0.1 billion in October. Finally, the manufacturing PMI is expected to decline sharply toward 52.3 in December, down from 56.9, which would be the lowest reading also in 2 months. These are the economic releases for today. However, all eyes will be headed toward the FOMC meeting minutes today, which will be released around 19 GMT time. No big changes expected in this meeting, and the Federal Reserve is likely to show a balanced statement amid the recent decline in oil prices. This is it for today. You can follow us on our social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to get the latest economic releases, reports, and analysis. Thank you for watching.